Well, welcome back to the stadium. I'm delighted to tell you Sunderland have won 3-1 at home against Fleetwood Town. And Danny, at points in the first half, you could never have saw the 3-1 result we saw in the end. But you got to give credit to those players in the second half. They dug in. We saw some bits of quality. We saw a great return from Luke O'Nien. We saw a great goal as well from Jack Clark. But it all got underway from Elliot Embleton's bumbled effort, I guess.
Yeah, it was, and you say coming in at half-time, the performance wasn't good enough in that first half. And you know, you see there, Alex Neil bringing the changes at half-time. You see, more often than not, managers will give the lads 10-15 minutes to see how they get on. Can they improve in the second half? But credit to him, he wasn't happy. He changes the shape, brings a couple of substitutions on.
Do you think some of those substitutions might have been forced, the likes of Jamajli and Evans going off?
Jamajli, I'm not sure. It's one of those where you change the shape. He obviously moved Dennis Sirkin to left of the back three, and then obviously you've got to forfeit one of the two centre halves, and he left Bailey right on and brought Jamajli off. You could argue, is it fitness-wise? You know, Bailey obviously made a mistake for the goal in the first half, and then you bring Jermaine on as well, because obviously we're needing goals. We needed to get back into it, so he brings Jermaine on up there alongside Ross. And I think, yes, we started okay at the start of the second half. We spent a lot of time in their half, didn't we? Almost camped in there. But at times they did look a threat on the counter as well. But the main thing was they didn't really carve anything out from good play. It's that issue what I have with us, where we invite the opposition back into the game and created their opportunities for them. But when we've seen it in the past as well, where when we're not at it and when the football's not there, more often than not, we don't pick up the 3 points. We either get beat or we draw. But tonight, that's where I give the boys credit. They stuck at it. Second half, they grounded out, and they've come away with what was the most important thing this evening, the 3 points. Yeah,
keep your hashtags coming in. Use the hashtag AskDanny, and we'll discuss them in a moment. Before we look back at the highlights, let's have a quick look around at the scores from EFL League One this evening, if we can. There's only a few games this evening, but Crewe, who Sunderland faced on Saturday, they were beaten at home by 3-1 by Portsmouth. Ipswich Town 2, Lincoln City 0. MK Dons 3, Cheltenham 1. Plymouth Argyle 2, AFC Wimbledon 0, and Bolton Wanderers got beat by Morecambe. I wasn't seeing that one coming.
Yeah, that's probably the surprise one on the fixtures there, aren't they? But as I say, MK Dons going great, aren't they? They're certainly nailed on for a playoff place, if not still trying to push Wigan and Rotherham. But I think they might just run out of time. You're looking elsewhere there. Ipswich have been going well. Crewe, you mentioned there, we've got at the weekend a heavy defeat at home. So
let's have a look at the league table, Danny, see what those results do. And Sunderland's win tonight. Obviously, you just mentioned MK Dons. Sunderland are back in the playoff places. That's the most important headline.
Well, it is, and it's good to see. You know, you still got a few games here and there for a couple of teams below us. Look, you've got Plymouth with a couple of games in hand, only a point behind us, and Wickham as well with a game in hand. So, but we've got the job done. That's the main thing. And with the lads going back in the change rooms, they'll have the TV on probably, or they're looking through their phones and looking at the table, and you see yourself back in those playoff places, and a bit of a sigh of relief as well. And you think, yeah, well, you know what, lads, we weren't great, but we've got the job done tonight, and that's all you can do really. You've got to get those points on, and I said there, we're looking at the fixtures, what we've got left. We've got Plymouth, Rotherham, and Oxford left to play the sides in and around us, and then we've got bottom half teams who, yes, on paper you'd fancy us to go out and get results against. So it's still in our hands.
Let's look back through the action then, Danny, and you can pull out the performances and the positives, if you like.
Yeah, well, we'll start with the negative, and there's one there, and that was there was too many of those tonight where we're trying to thread and we give the ball away and it invited them on. And say there, Morris, he was quite sharp, and Mateta, you give him credit, he has got an arm on his shoulder, but he managed to get the block in. But that was the sort of story of the first half. It was too lethargic, there was no tempo about us, and their half chances come through our mistakes, and certainly the goal, which we'll see in a second. You know, we didn't really work the goalkeeper enough in that first half. We'll see one or two chances that we had. We see here now we're just trying to mix it up, and that's what we didn't perhaps do enough there. Yeah, I'm not saying just keep forcing it to Ross, but we didn't really drop balls in the channel over the fullbacks enough. You know, we were trying to thread, and it's not on. They were 4-5-1. They were compact through the middle of the pitch, and we found it difficult. And I was saying, get Jack Clark out wide, get Patrick Roberts out wide, drag their fullbacks out and try and get them on the ball more.
This is their goal.
And here's the goal now. Yeah, we're comfortable. You know, it goes back to Bailey. It's, say, a little bit casual. I think he's actually gone to play it with his right, and he's clipped it off his left, and it's popped up. Obviously took the pace out of it, and Harrison's tucked it away. And then, well, after that, he seemed okay there, but 3 or 4 times he went down injured, didn't he? See it back now. As it plays it there, no chance for Jamajli to get across in time, and he catches it. Patterson, it bounces in front of him as well. I don't think there's much he can do, to be fair to him. Give Harrison credit, he caught it quite well. And then Patrick Roberts, it was a strange evening for Patrick, I felt. See there, he's driving, he's trying to make things happen with the ball, loses possession. And similar for Jack Clark at times as well. He'd done a lot of things good where he was on the ball, trying to get us going. And then at other times that you see there, he loses possession. But I think at times we need to support them. Yeah, I'm saying there we need to get them on the ball out wide, but you need a ball into feet, whether it's Ross Stewart or one of the other lads, an Embleton coming in there just linking up play. See, this was a nice little move. It doesn't really come to anything. A half chance for Embleton, which is blocked by Nsiala. But we didn't see enough of that in and around their 18-yard box, stringing those little passes together, quick, clever play. Didn't see enough of it. This one, Jack Clark, he creates it himself. That's what he's capable of, and we'll see it for his goal as well in the second half. And he's unlucky there. It's a good save by Cairns with his left foot. And again, Jack Clark, he's getting on the ball this time. He doesn't go past him on the outside. He chops and stands the ball up. Fancy Patrick Roberts coming in, winger to winger. Doesn't get contact on it. Comes to Embleton. And as I said, at half time, it was a difficult one. He's got to try and swing his body around and just open himself up, and it's comfortable for Cairns.
They look like good footballers, don't they, Roberts and Clark?
Yeah,
it's
they glide with the ball, don't they? And getting up ahead of things. But it's just that decision making. In a way, they're coming into the team. They're trying to nail down a starting place, and then sometimes I think you can feel you've got to try and do too much at times. Sometimes it's better just to lend the ball and get on your bike and keep the ball moving.
He's Sunderland's first goal of the evening.
Yeah, and it comes. Carl Winchester. He steps in with the ball, lends it to Ross Stewart, out to Matete, out to Jack Clark, and he fizzes the ball. I said it there. There was pace on the cross, but Cairns has got to do a lot better. He's got the cheek there to appeal for a handball. But as it comes in there, he's got to either take that in. It's not as if Jack Clark's 5 yards away. He's 15, 20 yards away. He just pumps it straight at Embleton and drops down. None of the other players are appealing for a handball, and that gets us back on track. But after then, you think we were saying, can we go on now and get that second and really force them back? But we give a few free kicks away, let them back into the game. And Danny Andrew there, said he's got 6 goals this season. He, puts that one over the wall, and it's a good save from Patterson. And then there's another one there, and they had 2 or 3 where we were looking a little bit ropey again. And then he brings Luke O'Nien on to give us that little bit of energy. And I said I would have perhaps brought Luke on as one of the sitters. You've got Elliot Embleton there, who you associate more with the number 10 and playing in behind. But then Luke goes on and gets us that second goal, which we'll see in a second. And here's the goal now. See, Ross does really well there. He's on the stretch, wins the ball. Jack Clark just plays the ball forward there. Jules doesn't really deal with it well enough. Comes out to Luke O'Nien, comes to Defoe. He's getting the strike away. And then a little bit of luck for us there. It just drops nicely into Luke O'Nien's
path. It's the way they got forward as a unit there.
Yeah, getting numbers forward. And, from their point of view, it's not great defending from Jules. He's a bit of a lazy leg. He gives it straight to Ross Stewart. And as it comes down, Luke's just on the move ahead of, is it Danny Andrew, I think, and gets that little bit of luck. You take a gamble, you get yourself in the box, it drops for him, and it's a lovely finish and fair play. He's been out for a few months and he's really enjoyed that one.
Don't squeeze his shoulder, lads.
Oh yes, pop one of them screws out of place. Another one here for Patterson. So they're still in the game. It's 2-1, and we're thinking we're still a little bit edgy. Can we go on and get a third just to take the sting out of it? That one there, we said, sat up there. You fancy Jermaine Defoe to it, one of those
have a crack,
dipping strikes up and over the keeper, but it doesn't come to anything, does it? And here's the third one.
There was
now
almost a sigh of relief, wasn't there?
Same as the build-up for the first one. Matete pops it out to Clark. Clark doesn't go and stand up against his man. He keeps himself 10-15 yards. They're scared to commit. He chops inside on this one.
Yeah, Boyle there.
And then none of the defenders come out to press him, and it opens up, and what is he, 23, 24 yards out, zips it past Alex Cairns there into that corner. No chance for him, and it's a great strike. And then you can just feel the tension and the relief in the stadium. See it back now there, just sidesteps his man, and that's what Patrick Roberts was looking for, coming in from the right hand side. Never really got the opportunity. It didn't really open up for him to open up for him like that. Oh yeah, and this one at the death as well, wasn't it? I think we could see it. You can't see it on the camera there. You can see Clark coming in. He's unmarked at the far post, and I think Ross is trying to pick him out, and it's on Jermaine, and he tries to get the header in. And then this one here, angles against him really, trying to open himself up on his right foot, comes out to Clark. Could have had another one, could have finished the game off to make it 4-1. But no, overall, I'd give the credit to the boys there.
Yeah,
they
they
come out
deserved it in
second
the
half.
end,
I think, on the balance of play and the opportunities, we did deserve the victory, although first 45 minutes wasn't good enough. But we've dug in and we got the 3 points.
Let's have a look at your thoughts now on hashtag Ask Danny, and we'll have the first one if we can then, please. This one's from our friend Mac over in Poland. Will McGeady ever play for Sunderland again? Has he healed the injury yet? Aiden last played in November 2021. Thanks for the facts there, Mac. We saw McGeady was down on the behind the dugout this evening. He was also joined by Alex Pritchard. Danny Bart was there as well. Jordan Willis. There's quite the club in the injury
Nathan
room at the moment.
I spoke to Aiden. I seen him at the training ground last week. He was going out to do a bit, and I asked him how he was getting on actually, and he said, his first couple of sessions back in full first sessions, he was doing little bits, the warm-up stuff with the lads, and then he'd come out with the physios.
Well, Alex Neil likes to surprise us with these things, doesn't he? We didn't expect to see Broadhead anywhere near the side last game.
And guest appearance.
And we didn't expect to see Luke O'Nien either, did we? But Luke O'Nien came on.
It was a shock again, I think, he wasn't on the bench, Luke, was he? I think he was down at Charlton, actually. I've seen him on the highlights doing the warm-up stuff with the lads. He's probably asked, can I travel down, be in and around it? And then, he was back on the bench tonight. And I think, again, credit to Alex Neil. I think you're looking at that, and I was looking, I think maybe you've got Dan Neil, who is match fit. He's been playing a lot this season. Can he come on and create something? You've got the two strikers up there. Dan's capable of those little threaded balls, but he brings Luke on. And I would have perhaps brought him on as a sitter and bump Elliott up one into that 10 role, but he never. He brought him on in there, and he went on and got us that goal. So, credit to Luke. But, with Aiden, I don't think he's too far away. Whether he might get some minutes in a 23's game, I'm not sure. Obviously, Nathan didn't. He'd come straight back into it. Luke hasn't. He'd come straight back in. So, Aiden, maybe, a couple of weeks off, maybe.
A couple of weeks off. Well, he'll be in the start lineup on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, then, next one, please, here on hashtag Ask Danny, from Joe. Night and day between the first and second half this evening. You mentioned the crowd a lot in the first half, Danny. How much of a role do they play when you're on the pitch? Does it make a big difference, or do you learn to zone out?
No, it's a good question, and we mentioned it, and it was quiet in here. It was sort of 15 minutes really before we heard a song coming from them, and I always
didn't really have much to shout about.
No. For me, it always comes from the players. They've got to set the tempo on the pitch, and that gets the crowd going. Whether we said it before, whether it's a crunching tackle. I thought actually Corey Evans put one in, and he got booked for it. It was a good tackle. Yeah. So something like that, either that, a good bit of 4 or 5 passes which ends in a shot on goal, that gets the crowd going. But we didn't see any of that. It was all lethargic. It was slow around the pitch. We were looking. We couldn't figure out a way to play through them. So we didn't give them nothing to go off. And then we concede the goal. And then you can hear it. And then we become nervous on the ball. We've seen it a few weeks ago. Doncaster coming up here. It's almost that the lads are a bit shell-shocked from conceding. They can hear the crowd. And they're moving the ball on. Nobody really wants to take control of the game for us. Yes, we've got a few young lads in the team. We've also got experienced boys. But that's how it is. You come and play for a club like Sunderland, you're at this level. I had a Premier League and Championship coming here, and 40-odd thousand, and at times it was tough to play in. You have to grow into it. You have to get used to it.
Get them on your side and use them as a tool.
Some of the young lads aren't used to it. They've played 23s football in front of a couple of thousand, so it's a learning experience for these lads. And you have to learn fast. You come up here, big expectation. I said it before. We're expected to go up automatics or worst case through the playoffs. And at this moment in time, we're fighting, hanging on to a playoff place. So you've got to expect it with the crowd. 28,000 in here this evening. They're expecting to see more from the team.
Okay, then let's move on to another one here on hashtag Ask Danny. This one is from Chris. Thanks for getting in touch, Chris. We came out of the traps very slow tonight and didn't look like a team fighting for a playoff place in the first half. Do you think we have an issue with getting up for games?
No, I think you can look back at different games, and there have been games here where we have scored early, haven't we? Off the top of my head, I'm not sure which one, Cheltenham perhaps, and that. And when you do, that settles the nerves around the pitch. You're expected with Cheltenham coming up here.
Well, those games where we have scored on an evening game early, we've gone on to win 5-0.
Yeah, exactly that. You get that early goal. We've seen it at Wigan. I think that vital. We got that early goal at Wigan, Bailey Wright header, and we just relaxed a little bit. We were happy to let Wigan have the ball, but they didn't really hurt us throughout the 90 minutes. But coming up here, it's just saying it there. The lads have got to set the tempo. There's only so much the manager can do. He sets the lads up. You can argue formations and personnel. I know fans like to do that. They'll go in the pub, have a beer. They'll see the team come up and, I'd have gone with him, or, that's just how football is.
Of course, yeah.
But you can't tell me that you're looking at the starting lineup tonight. We had a couple of changes, but you've got Embleton, Jack Clark and
Patrick
Roberts in behind Ross Stewart. So at this level, those front four are more than capable. Yeah, Ross is top scorer. So, but there's only so much the manager can do as well. Once the lads cross the white line, it's up to them. They know what's expected of them. They've been set up in that way, and they've got to go out and deliver. And it wasn't there in the first half. He knew that. Obviously, he tweaked it at half time. He sends on Lyndon Gooch and Jermaine Defoe, and he changed the system. So it'd be interesting to listen to what he's got to say, Alex Neil, after the game, which will...
Well, yeah, I'm sure you can pick that up, Danny, on your, if you do get in the house in time, on safc.com or, of course, on Sunderland's Twitter page.
Yeah,
as well,
we'll see and see what his views are on it. And he, he's only been here a few weeks, but he's been open, and the way he spoke after the games, and he tells it as it is. And obviously, if he's not happy, he knows... Well, he thinks he knows the squad, what he's got to work with, and how he's trying to figure out to put things right for us. He's tweaked the formation. I think we've had 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 3-5-2. All these numbers, and I know you get confused with them when I throw them at you. But yeah, we've tried different formations, and that's obviously as a result of not getting results or not being happy with the way we're playing, and that's why we've changed it at half-time tonight, and we've got the result. Okay, let's have a look at another one then, please. This one is from Babyface. What did that say? There's another one. What did it say? Is 3-5-2 the way forward? Well, glad you saw it. It was on for about sharp, it was on for like half a second there. Yeah, well, we just spoke about it there. You can say Saturday for me was the best we've played in a while, and we started the game with the 3-5-2. We changed it later on, didn't we? But you can argue formations. It's the application of the lads when they go out there. First half, 4-2, 4-2-3-1. Didn't move the ball well enough around the pitch. Now people might say, "Oh, is that to do with the formation?" Well, for me, not really, no. Take a touch, wrap it in. They've got to set the tempo. Doesn't matter what formation you play. You can argue, do we want somebody up there alongside Ross Stewart now? Obviously, Nathan was injured tonight. I think we might see a few different formations because of who's available. Availability, isn't it? Exactly. Pritchard's out. He looked like he was going to try and build a team around Alex Pritchard. I think he was a miss tonight as well. He, not just his creativity side. He buzzes around the pitch, doesn't he? Yeah. The Jack Russell. I knew it was coming. The Jack Russell. That's what you call him. He gets around the pitch. We'll ask him about that one. I hope he's okay with that. Yeah. All right. Let's have another one then. I think this might be the last one. Oh, there's two more. Right, this one stays on screen from Chris. From Arkansas, USA. Hello, Chris. Thanks for watching in around the world here on SFC Live. Did you do your coaching badges, Danny? And did you consider going into management or coaching? Well, do you want to tell them? Tell them. Well, I've done my B licence a couple of years ago. Yeah. I was supposed to do my A licence last year, but COVID knocked it on the head, so I'm due to start it middle of next month, the MEA licence. You've been doing little bits and bobs with the football club, yeah, just in around the 18s and the 23s, a couple of days a week, just going in, watching sessions and having a look at things, how things run from day to day. So, yeah, I enjoy doing the media side of things, but as well, you miss being out on the grass. 18, 19 years as a pro. You do miss being out on the grass day to day. It's what you've been used to. It's your job. Is that why you spend so much time in your garden then? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Right, let's have the last one then. This one from Lewis. Thanks for getting in touch, Lewis. If we keep pushing like this, do you think we could make the playoffs final? Well, I'm hoping so, yeah. I think looking at performances, we know the performances have got to be better than what we've seen tonight. Coming up against the team, Fleetwood, hadn't won for 9. That's 10 after tonight for them, so they've not won in 10. But you see, down to Charlton at the weekend, they were low in confidence, and we didn't get the job done down there. So between now and the end of these remaining 9 games, I think if we can pick up, well, we've picked up 3 tonight, so we're on 63. We're on now, aren't we? Yep. So I think we need sort of another 17 points or so, another 6 wins. A draw, you can maybe afford to lose 1, perhaps 2, but we've got to get another 6 wins, I think, and that'll nail us down a playoff place. It's going to be tough. I don't expect us to go and blast teams out of the water week in, week out. We've got to play Oxford. They're free scoring. Rotherham have got to come up here. Yep. Plymouth won again this evening, so we've got those are massive. The old cliche, 6-pointers, and then you've got to take care of the teams down the bottom end. We've got Crewe coming here on Saturday. Of course, we're going to be expected to win. They're rock bottom. They've been beat 3-1 this evening. But you can't win the game on paper. We've got to go out there and we've got to show a lot more than what we did in that first half. And that's where you'll see us next here on SAFC Live here at the Stadium of Light. It'll be Sunderland versus Crewe Alexandra on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff here at the stadium. You can get your matchday streaming passes outside of the UK right now at safc.com. The headlines here from the Stadium of Light this evening, though, they've got the job done. Sunderland 3, Fleetwood Town 1. We'll see you next time.